Say what's here for a night of fun. What's up, y'all? My name is Amir Zen, and we are streaming tonight about health and US politics. We are streaming on Kick, on Rumble, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch. So, since I am a one man show here, I am checking every stream right now to make sure that we are good. We are live on Twitch officially. We are live on Twitter officially. Let's check YouTube. Oh, we are live there. Live on Rumble, live on Kick. What's up, y'all? Let's get this show on the road. If you're over here on the gram, move over to Rumble, rumble.com/Amir Zen official. We are going to be talking about some fun stuff tonight. Got my handy dandy toothpick right here. And I should probably remove that for the stream now. I love my toothpicks. Before we get this started, got to take a fat sip of water like I usually do. And this is your reminder to go take a fat sip of water with perhaps some salt in it, some Redmond's real salt. All right. Ooh, that was a fat gulp. Okay, so if you were here last night, we were talking about curing certain diseases. We were reading research about heart inflammation, cancer, and we are going to continue on that tonight. And we are also going to be talking about politics, which is always fun. So let's check right now to see if audio is working. I'm going to check right now. I don't know if audio is working, but if it is working, everybody please let me know. Just got to check real quick. Feels like it's not working. Let's see. Test. Well, let's see if anybody's. All right, I'm going to have to go check here to see if that is working. Let's see. Oh, it is working. Sweet. All right. But I don't know why it's not working here. All right. Well, if you're here right now, say what's up. Leave me a comment. Please follow. We're doing a late night stream tonight, and we are going to have a fun time. That is definitely working. I just hopped off one of the live streams. Let's see if we can figure this out. Hey, if you're here right now, leave a comment. Say what's up. We are going to be here talking about health and politics, getting healthy, read some research on myocarditis and heart inflammation. We're going to be talking about California's new senator, which is a weird one. And then we're also going to be talking about the House of Representatives, which is going to be a fun one. So I just got to check real quick to see. Boom. All right. I have confirmed that our audio is working, and now I can go back on what's up over here. Now I can go back on Instagram, which is right over here on the side. So if you're just tuning in right now and you didn't catch the stream from yesterday, I would highly recommend going and checking that out as soon as you can, because that was the prelude to what we're doing right now. So if you are here right now, say what's up. We are going to be having a good time. We're just letting some people come into the chats right now. This is wow. Yeah, I have never streamed on so many platforms at once before, and here we are streaming on 6 different platforms. Wow. It is late at night as well. It's 11 something at night, and we are here streaming until I got 1,000,000 followers. We're streaming to 1,000,000 followers, so please support me in my endeavor to reach 1,000,000 followers in the very near future. Let's go. All right, so let's get this started with some politics. There's some weird ass shit going on with let's see, I'm gonna start this one over. We got some really weird shit going on in California. And it is just, really going to show you the nature of politics when we talk about this. Because for me, who has experience in politics, this is pretty normal. But to see it at such a high scale is pretty wild. Because appointing in politics is, like I said, it's a pretty normal occurrence. But to appoint a US senator in California that is literally not from California is pretty wild. Um, so let's see real quick. I'm trying to get these testing tests to work. Hey, if you're here right now, say what's up, and leave your comments. We're talking about, like I was just saying, the US Senate, and my headphones aren't working right now. Unfortunate, because when we're the only people here, we have to live stream and talk while we're fixing our audio issues, which is exactly what we're gonna do. Because usually I can hear myself in my headphones, but I can't do that right now. Also tonight, I wanna go over some videos, um, that I've watched over the last few days that definitely pertains to this. They're historic videos. If you know me, you know I am a big fan of history, and using the historical record to form your ideas is very beneficial and intelligent to do. So, highly recommended, if you don't do that already. So, if you're ever thinking like, "Oh my god, this has never happened in history," there are probably instances in history where this has happened. Um, so we're going to look over. This is a video about George Washington, and actually, let's start out with this video because it is very interesting and very telling about where American politics used to be, where it is today in comparison, and where we could be in the future. So, uh, these videos are about George Washington. So, if y'all are here right now, say what's up. We're going to be streaming for a little bit, and we're going to be talking about some scientific studies and House of what is that? Speaker of the House of Representatives Kevin McCarthy just got ousted as well today, so we'll talk about that as well too. If you're in the chat right now, say what's up. If you're watching this after, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Please follow me as well. All right, let's continue on this. Let's see if I can set this up real quick. So this is we'll just play a little bit of this, but this is the election of George Washington was weirder than you think. That is what this video is titled, and it is from the YouTube channel Pre-Modernist. So let's check it out. And I just started watching it, and I stopped and said, you know what? I'm gonna watch this on stream tonight with the homies and see what happens. All right, so I need to play this bad boy right over here. Du-du-du. So, talking about the US senator that I was just talking about as well, it is weird. But again, normal about the appointing, but just they appointed a black female lesbian who's not even from California. she wasn't even living in California. Her current address before this was not in California. So we are going to talk about that a little more as well because that is a sign that maybe if you're watching this right now, you can go get involved in politics yourself and not worry and wonder about why this is happening. Because this is an unfortunate reality about politics. And I believe the reason that things like this can just constantly keep happening is that not enough people are involved in the political process. And a lot of people have a lot of people have skin in the game with their businesses and their lives and their work. And politics controls pretty much all of that. I mean, if you look at the COVID lockdowns, it was politicians who literally decided what they were going to do with your business, what they were going to do with the economy. So, it's pretty important. It's pretty important. Actually, let me read you this quote. I believe it's a Plato quote, but fact check me if it's not. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Yep. And if y'all are seeing what's happening in politics today, a lot of people believe that they are being led by their inferiors. And I would argue that is for sure happening. Um, you know, it's really easy to get involved in politics in America. If you're outside of America, then might not be as easy. But in America, we have a lot of freedom to do a lot of epic shit in America. So, if you are ever thinking about being in politics, just recognize that it is a realistic endeavor and it's something that any American can get involved in. All right. Before we continue on, I'm going to take some Specker deep recovery here. This is from my company, speckerhealth.com. Check it out. Perfect for streaming and keeping me going strong. I also finished a real strong workout. Hey, how you doing? I also finished a real strong workout tonight, and I am definitely feeling a bit sore. And that deep recovery is something that I take after my workouts to really get me feeling better. So check it out at speckerhealth.com. You can take the new Specker Health assessment that we just launched. What was it? A week ago? Yeah, last week. And that'll help you pick the products that fit best for your lifestyle. And also check out the Specker Library, where I summarize scientific studies on ingredients, health, and lifestyle, and I make them easy for you to understand. So you can also go to the bottom of all of those summaries and click the study yourself and read the full thing yourself. So actually, the study that we're going to talk about tonight about myocarditis and CBD, I'm going to write a Specker Library summary on that as well. But first, we are going to talk about it here and go through all of it. Like I said, if you were here last night, you would we started reading this. I left it there and said that I would go through more of it today and just explain the mechanisms of action of how a compound like CBD could confer these specific benefits. All right, let's see. If you're in the chat right now, say what's up. Let me know how you're doing. I'm going to be here until I want to leave. It's a late night stream tonight. I see we got some of my homies streaming on other platforms as well. I am definitely looking to stream with more homies as well. It gets a lot more fun that way. All right, let's see how I can do this. Boom, boom. Okay, I'm gonna play this right now. Like I said, we are going to be learning about our boy George Washington and the first presidential election that and the title is "The Election of George Washington Was Weirder Than You Think." Now, I think this is really important because people think that politics in America is just such a shit show all the time, and we have a really good historical indicator that politics at one time in American history was much more connected and cordial and yeah. So I'm just figuring out how to get this set up right now. See. Hey, what's up? If you're here on Instagram right now, why don't you go over and check me out at rumble.com/Amir Zen official. Because you can actually leave the chat on Rumble and play it in the background. You can't do that on YouTube. I don't think you can do that on Twitter either. This is a massive user flaw that you cannot do other things when you're watching a live stream. I mean, that is a horrible user experience. So, shout out to the platforms like Rumble and YouTube where you can actually do that. Kick, you can do that as well. I just started streaming on Kick as well yesterday. Like I said, we're streaming on five different platforms. Six different platforms tonight. I guess I just decided to, stream everywhere until we see what happens. But my focus is 1 million followers on Rumble. So if you're watching me anywhere else, it would be awesome for you to follow me there as well. I think the safest place for my long term free speech for right now is Rumble. We'll see who it is in the future. Right now, on the internet, it pretty much seems like it's a competition between Twitter and Rumble on free speech. And I would argue that Rumble is winning. Rumble is definitely winning right now. There are certain people that were and are blocked on Twitter that are free to speak on Rumble, and I think that's a really big deal. So, um, oh, it is working. So okay, my headphones are all right. If y'all in the chats right now, say what's up. I'm about to get this started. Let's go. Um, FN F11. Perfect. All right. I'm really excited to watch this. And I don't know about watching these things and copyright, but this is going to be a fun one. Again, if you're ever wondering why shit is fucked up today, just realize that the historical record that we have is thousands of years old, and there have been civilizations across culture throughout time. And while specific things are very unique about our era, human behavior and government behavior has remained pretty consistent for the last few thousand years. So I think it would be a really good time right now to figure out ways to evolve on that and get to a new place in humanity that is, I don't know, happier and healthier. How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? Right. So, I believe that systems either evolve or they cease to exist. If the status system can evolve, eventually a better system may come and take its place. Who knows what that system is? I don't know what that system is. Maybe I do know what that system is. We'll talk about that on other Why am I Yeah, we'll talk about that one on yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that one tonight because that's gonna take actually, we should bring yeah, we're gonna talk about that one, that'll be fun. Alternative systems to the current centralized structures that currently rule the world. Alright, so we're gonna share that screen real quick, and then so like I said, we are about to watch the do I want to be that small? Whoa, hello. Boom, boom. That's cool. How about that? How about that? Like that. Yeah. All right, let's start this shit. Let's see if it plays. Do y'all hear me? Let's see. Let's check. We're checking. We're doing a test right now. Oh, it's not playing. It's not playing. Ah, all man, come on. All that hype and I could not get it to play. All right, fuck that, bro. We gonna get that shit to play. That is whack. That is wackadoodle. All right, let's see. We're gonna just unplug that real quick. All right, testing, testing. We are back. If you're in the chat right now, say what's up. All right, I'm just trying to see why my speakers don't work, man. Well, we can figure it out. All right. Well, if you're here on the stream right now, say what's up. Leave a comment right now. Let me know how you're doing. Let's see. Rumble.com/Trump pivots to support it. What the fuck? Well, that's an interesting comment you got there on Rumble. You could explain that in the comments a little more. I'm not clicking on that link. That's interesting. Let's see. All right. Doing a little bit more testing right here. If you're in the chat right now, say what's up. All right. Audio testing test. Let's see. Nope. Nice, nice. We got it working. I hope. Let's see. Let's see. No. Nope, not working. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. All right, let's see. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out, chat. If you're here right now in the chat, please like this video. I'm just trying to figure out how to best perfect this audio so that I can provide you with the best user experience possible. Let's see. And this is the first time this has literally ever happened. And I've been streaming a bunch, which is very, very weird. Let's see. Testing. All right, we're testing this again. All right, let's go. Boom, we got it. All right, we're back. Finally, with a slight little audio issue over there that we just had. Let's see. Yep, we're good. We're good. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Let me see if this works though. I gotta see if I can hear this. Oh my god, I can. Let's go. All right. All right. We're gonna try this one more time. I apologize for the delay here. this is the election of George Washington was weirder than you think. I want to talk about U.S. politics, and I was like, well, shit, no better place to start in U.S. politics than literally the first presidential election. And we'll start off by, it was. I know a little bit about this topic. It's definitely not what you expect in a in politics today. When you look at politics today, it is bad. It is bad compared to what we could have. And that's what I'm saying. If we have history that shows that we can have more, I guess, honor in politics, let's fucking do it. All right, we're going to play it. Doo-doo-doo. So, like I said, we are going to talk about the election of Mr. George Washington. That's not good. All right, let's go. Let me start that again. Did y'all just hear that? No political parties, no nominating conventions, no primary elections. Is that even working? Whoa. That didn't work. That did not work. I don't think that worked. Is anybody in the chat right now that Wow. All right. Fuck it. That did not work. So if anybody is in the chat right now, can you let me know if that worked or not? If you heard the video that just played. If you did not, then I am very sorry. I'm going to go back on live over here. I'm streaming on 6 different platforms live right now. So apologies for the slowdown we got tonight. Let's see. Boom. We lost a live real quick. We're going back on one of them. All right. Boom. We're live again. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Well, that didn't work. I'm going to have to test that out. Sorry about that. Oh, man. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this politics. Hey, how you doing, bro? Good to see you in the chat. All right, so I really like Justin Amash's takes on what's going on with the Speaker of the House stuff right now. It is very fair and balanced, like Mr. Justin Amash usually is. So he wrote in a tweet that a motion to vacate the chair at the discretion of any one member rather than the majority of a party, which was the anomalous rule under Pelosi, has been part of the process going back to the early days of Congress. It must be preserved. The speakership belongs to the institution, not one party. The motion protects the people, and every member of the House, regardless of the party, must remain empowered or Every member of the House, regardless of party, must remain empowered to hold the Speaker accountable. It's no threat to any Speaker who could command the support of the majority of the House. So, fair and balanced takes. Another tweet from Justin Amash is Kevin McCarthy promised to open up the House, but he never made good on that promise. In this entire term, there has been only one legislative item that had an open amendment process. Very narrow, relatively inconsequential bill passed in January. Spending bills, by rule and tradition, going back over 200 years, are supposed to be freely amendable from the floor by any member of the House able to garner the votes. Yet, zero of the spending bills McCarthy has brought to the floor have been considered under an open rule. If you don't know who Justin Amash is, he was in Congress for a minute and for about 10 years. And he was the first Libertarian Party member of Congress. He got elected as a Republican. And then at the end, he switched over to the Libertarian Party, making him officially the first Libertarian Party member in US Congress. And then he didn't get reelected. I don't know if he ran again after that. So I read through all of his tweets today, and I was like, "Damn, man, this guy is on fire." Actually, fun fact: Speaker of the House is not a position that needs to be filled by somebody who's in the House. Anybody technically can become Speaker of the House. He says Kevin McCarthy has been ousted as Speaker. Nobody knows how this will play out in the short run, but it's a huge positive for the institution and the American people in the long run. The Speaker of the House must be held accountable. Now, this is a very big difference between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, is that Republicans infight a lot more than Democrats do. And a lot of that infighting has to do with transparency, accountability, philosophical issues. And Democrats fall in line. Their order is much more controlled and centralized and top down than the Republican Party apparatus. Is that a good or bad thing? Strategically, it shows that it garners power and wins elections. Should the Republicans follow that kind of playbook? It's something I've been pondering for a long time because I was in the Republican Party doing work for years. And I recognized this back then, and I wondered back then if more control in the Republican Party apparatus would result in better outcomes. But it just made me realize that the right and left in America are acting essentially as their philosophies entail. If you're left, you're moving towards communism. If you're right, you're generally moving towards freedom. And it'll be, the thing I'm looking at is like, the freedom and control. It's like the more this way you go in American politics, the more you're going to go to total centralized control. The more you go over to the right in American politics, you get to more freedom, individualism. And as a result of that, it might be more difficult to compete in a centralized arena against people who know how to centralize better than you. And we're in an era in history where many of us know that centralization is inefficient, pretty evil. Can you nut on the screen? Can you bust on the screen? Bro, what are these people saying here? Oh my God, dude. Wow, I just got a man, the things that people say in these chats. Hey, if you're watching right now, I say I'm like, leave a comment. And then the comments that I read, I'm like, bro, I literally can't read that. I'm not reading that, dude. Like, what the fuck? That was gross, man. Yeah. So if you're watching right now, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this topic. Gosh, man. We're streaming until I got 1 million followers here. So I'm gonna be here. I want to be here a lot. You're gonna be seeing a lot of me. Please do me a big favor. Give me a follow right now. Share my content with other people as well if you like what you are hearing here. Let's go and all right. I'm gonna read one more here about the um. Let me see. Oh, that post is not where. All right, one more. I'm reading one more of these, um, by Justin Amash before we transition over to the California Senate stuff, and then I will transition over to reading this myocarditis study with y'all. Kevin McCarthy, this is Justin Amash again. Kevin McCarthy was by far the worst leader I have served with in the Republican conference. By the way, Kevin McCarthy is a California Republican. And as somebody who was in the California Republican Party for many years myself, um, what I know for certain is that he was not anywhere close to allying with the faction that I'm in the Republican Party. And what it showed over the last, over this time that he's been the House, been the Speaker of the House, is that he promised a bunch of different politicians a bunch of different things and then didn't do shit like a typical politician does. Let's see. Andy says, bro, please talk about what happened to the Canadian Speaker of the House. What happened to the Canadian Speaker of the House? Can you comment and let me know there? I I honestly I try not to follow Canadian politics. My position on Canadian politics is a strong one, and that is Canada, if y'all want to get your country in line and get things going down a positive road, take a lesson from your neighbors in the United States of America when we say it's a lot better in a country after you abolish the British monarchy and replace it with a constitutional republic that protects your natural God given rights. So, if you're a Canadian, maybe take that with a grain of salt because, after the American Revolution, the American government, the newly formed American government tried to go into Canada and they failed. Not saying that the United States government should go invade Canada, but I do think that if you're Canadian, you should have the right to self determination. And if you have your right to self determination, you got to really ask yourself, do you want to have a branch of your government being the British monarchy? Because that's what it still is. So when you are sitting there wondering why things are so different in America, it's pretty simple. We fought off those British and got rid of the British monarchy, replaced it with a constitutional republic system that protects natural God given rights, and y'all didn't. So, over 200 years later, might be time to think about it. So, this tweet, Kevin McCarthy was by far the worst leader I served with in the Republican conference. Unprincipled, incompetent, duplicitous, vindictive, and transactional. He's a politician. So he's a politician. Instead of simply committing to and following through on maintaining an open and deliberative process in the House, he promised conservative, victories, or sorry, substantive victories he knew he'd never deliver. All he cared about was getting the gavel. Yeah. As I've said before, the House needs to follow its rules and allow the genuine participation of every representative. This means starting early on major legislation and working through in committees and on the floor. Any speaker who doesn't run the House this way is perpetuating oligarchy, dysfunction, and hyperpartisanship. All right, Andy, let's see. What happened over? Oh, that, yeah, the SS. Yes, yes. So Andy says that Canadian Libs invited a 98-year-old SS fighter from World War II for Zelensky and gave him standing ovations twice. Oh man, that was, man. You know what's funny is I read a funny tweet about that today, about how when you're not really a Nazi, they call you a Nazi. But the same people, when you're a literal Nazi, they give you a standing ovation. What the fuck? Like, what? Yeah. So what do I mean, honestly, it's yeah. The Speaker of the House resigned. I saw that, bruh. It's just it's, I guess I was gonna say it's an unpopular opinion, but it seems to be an opinion that's becoming very popular. If you just scroll through a Twitter feed, is that uh, you know this whole thing with World War II and how only World War II, no other war, and just one group in the entire World War is singled out and focused on as exponentially more evil than those other evils that were very objectively horrible as well. I mean, if you look at war and genocide throughout history, shit's fucked up. So the way I look at it is like, all right, dude. I mean, let's see. It says, "Oh yeah, docs. Yeah, speaker of that. Yeah, doc." Andy says they doxed the man. Poland wants to extradite him. I believe I saw Israel say something about that. Is that true as well? Um, I don't. I did hear a audio of him. I believe it was actually him that said that he just wanted to die peacefully. I mean, the dude's old, and now he said he has to go to South America to be with his friends. If you don't know your history, you know what that means. He's gonna go be with where all the other Nazis went, essentially, South America, and another place too, like maybe Antarctica. I don't know. Who knows? That'll be for another stream as well. Check some of these real quick over here. Anything here? All right, we're good. We're good. Hey, if you're in the chat right now, let me know how you're doing. Where did that go? All right, that is right there. So yeah, that was a really, yeah. My point is that war is just objectively evil. It is horrible, and it is the worst of mankind. And I mean, when you go to war with people, you villainize them, right? So after the war is done, usually it's just like, all right, like whatever, we're good now, or just kind of go your own ways, or you just hate each other, like in your own ways. Just but once the war is over, it's kind of like, all right, man, like the government forced you to do this. Like there was a lot of conscription. Remember that. There's like a lot of these men didn't have a choice to do it. The government says, you're going to war. And conscription is technically a form of legalized slavery. And yeah, you could choose to go to prison, but I mean, That's yeah. So that should be recognized, you know. And also in Ukraine at that time, you have to remember the Soviets were very bloody, and a lot of the times in war, what happens is the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and you get in these weird allied partnerships, kind of like how America was fighting communism and wasn't down for communism, and then allied with the Soviet Union in World War II, and then like so war is hell, and people do weird, fucked up shit in war that you just generally don't do outside of war. So fuck off, bro. So hold on, dude. I don't. What's going on there? Sorry about that noise, yo. So, if they had like some kind of Viet Cong or some Taliban or even an ISIS soldier or something like that, it's like, all right, man, like, you did what you did. Like, all right, cool. All right, you live here now. Like, the war's over. Fucked up shit. Okay. That's between you and God. So, the way I look at it is if you're going to treat one political party from one country and one war that way, and then not use that same standard for everybody else, it's like, why is that one group so singled out? That's for another stream as well. So if you're here right now, say what's up. um I want to read a little bit about what I was saying. Sorry. The Senate, this chick that just got appointed to U.S. Senate, California's new U.S. Senator. California news senator. And I'm going to read you her Wikipedia page because I was literally just reading her Wikipedia page, and it's just so funny because they already updated it. So let me pull that shit up real quick. So, it's really grinds my gear that politicians get appointed literally based off of just traits that they were born with. We need to get back to a merit-based system where the people who are doing the best work are the ones who should be in positions, not because you were born with a certain skin color or a certain gender, or you like to have sex with one type of person instead of another. What? It's like, okay, so what did you do for work? I mean, granted, when I read through the Wikipedia page, it was very evident why the California cartel of the Democrats picked this woman. So it's like, oh, why the hell would they pick this random woman who's not even from California and move to California? Like, I don't know, it was like, we'll get there about the exact details. It's because this is a cabal that they have. This Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, all of these Democrats that they have. And she is clearly one of those individuals. Her name is LaFonza Butler. And she's one of those individuals that's, been running with that squad for years. So I'm going to read a little bit about her right now and share a little bit about her because you will definitely understand why. Let's see. All right. Close that real quick. All right. So, LaFonza Romanique Butler, born on May 11th, 1979, is an American politician serving as the junior United States Senator from California since 2023. See, I said they updated it already. Butler began her career as a union organizer, and she served as president of California SEIU State Council from 2013 to 2018. And that is the Service Employees International Union. So She's one of these people at the top of the union world. A member of the Democratic Party, she was the president of Emily's List from 2021 to 2023. Now, Emily's List is an interesting organization. It's a political action committee, a PAC, that aims to help elect Democratic female candidates in favor of abortion rights to office. Wow. A group of women that come together for the common goal. Getting murdering babies. Like, fucking Christ, man. But to the point I was making earlier, you see how organized they are? This is real organization. So if you're on the right, I would say, I'm an observer. I try very hard to, stay out of the ring and just be an observer and not pick a side, even though a side gets picked for me. And one group, for some reason, is, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying before I go on that tangent, which I'm not going to go down right now. This is the point about how these things can happen, is that they're about advancing the Democratic Party. Republicans are generally about advancing freedom or some position. And as a result, that splinters the right. Whereas on the left, it is cohesive on that common goal. We want centralized control. And if that's the common goal, well, look at what they have. They have a grip on centralized control in America right now from all angles. So she was the president of Emily's List from 2021 to 2023 and a regent of the University of California from 2018 to 2021. So that's, like just that first paragraph. And it's like, damn, dude, you are doing a lot of things for the Democratic Party here. And the regents of the University of California is the governing board of the UC system. And that's the University of California, which is where I went, the University of California, Los Angeles. Shout out to UCLA. On October 1st, 2023, and it is October 4th right now, so it shows you how fast they get to these Wikipedia pages. California Governor Gavin Newsom chose Butler to fill the U.S. Senate seat left vacant by the death of Dianne Feinstein. So Butler was born in Mississippi, okay? Not California. She began her career as hey, what's up, y'all? If you're in the chat right now, say hello. I see that there are a handful of people in here right now, and I hope y'all are having a good night. And I hope you're staying happy and healthy. Make sure to go drink some water right now if you haven't done so already. And that's crazy because I drink water so often throughout the day, and I am shocked at how little many people drink water throughout the day. Let's see. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, Henry? How you doing, man? Good to see you in here. Have you heard of Javier Milei? Milei? How do you actually say that? I need to learn how to say the dude's last name. Milei. I definitely butchered that. The next president of Argentina. That's an ANCAP. I'm gonna speak into this camera when I say it. That's on Instagram. You're asking me right over here. Dude is a Zionist. Look into it. Dude is a Zionist. And the way I look at it is that if you're going to say you're an ANCAP and then you're shilling for states, especially states that aren't yours, then are you really an ANCAP? And yeah. Yeah, Henry says yes, that turned me off. Yeah, that's that policy position right there, Henry, will tell you a lot about what kind of freedom that individual is actually talking about. Henry says he's not our guy. You know, I gotta say, it is very cool to see that these philosophies like anarcho-capitalism that we were promoting 10, 15 years ago, nonstop, are so mainstream that a potential president of a country refers to themselves as that. I don't know. Does he actually? I haven't heard himself say that he's an ANCAP. I don't watch too much of the guy, but I've seen some clips and I've seen other people call him ANCAP. I've heard him sound like he is well versed on, Mises Institute style literature, but I don't think that that makes you an ANCAP per se. So, Henry, let me know if you've looked into that guy more. If you're watching this right now and let me know. I'd love to learn more about the dude. But like I said, if you're shilling for Israel and then you're talking about being an ANCAP, then it's like, hey, man, you got to pick one. Yeah. So Henry says same thing with DeSantis. First place he went to before running for president was Israel. Well, Henry, as you know, that's yeah, he says in theory an ANCAP, in practice a monarch. Oh, a minarchist. I mean, yeah, yeah, I guess yeah. If you're in politics and you're an ANCAP, I mean, I could say that, right? It's like I would it's like, well, am I a minarchist then because I am in politics? Technically, yes, right? Because you're going into a state apparatus trying to find solutions, which means that you do believe that there are solutions that can be accomplished via the state. So, that's the same as Ron Paul. Ron Paul, pretty much, if you listen, he's talking about voluntarism, but at the end of the day, people aren't calling Ron Paul an ANCAP, right? Generally, you're calling him a minarchist. So yeah, that's a big one, Henry. I'm glad you asked that one, and I've been wanting to talk about that topic a little more recently as well. I haven't had a chance to discuss the liberty world and Zionist ideology. I mean, Henry, you remember where I think, there was even back in the Ron Paul days a split where people would be trying to validate Zionism via libertarianism. And as we know, we're like, no. That is a kind of the opposite ideology to freedom. To total freedom. I mean, we're talking about a completely decentralized system and then a centralized system. So realistically, even if you just removed Zionism and replaced it with any centralized system, it's still, let's see. Asked, am I what? Somebody just asked, am I 58? Nah. Do I look 58? Am I? Well, somebody said I look much younger than that recently. That's interesting, man. The comments on Kick compare. I'm just reading through some of these comments right now. The comments on Kick comparatively are just like absolutely disgusting. Like I said, I'm like, I can't read these, man. So if you're watching, please leave a pleasant comment on these other platforms. What's up to everybody over here on Instagram? You should move over to Rumble because that's where I'm gonna be streaming much, much more moving forward. And we're gonna be getting 1 million followers very, very soon. So yeah, so again, thank you, Henry, for asking that question. Yeah, if you're looking into that guy, like I said, hey, look, uh, just because somebody's promoting Zionism doesn't mean if you remember, I had a Henry. Oh man, yeah, I remember those days, man. That's something that I definitely want to talk about more on these streams as well. Because back then, uh, shit, was there even live streaming really back then? Kinda, not really. And we were being censored so often that it was very hard to get these topics and ideas out to the world on a big scale. But now that we have platforms like Rumble and the new Twitter, we can actually grow on these platforms. So this is why I recommend, if you were around during the Ron Paul days and experience those real intense rounds of internet censorship, the hey, look who's here. Oh my god, speaking of this topic, it looks like we're getting the people in this chat where we're talking about those issues uh from 10, 15 years ago that I guess we're talking about right now. I was going to bring up this study on myocarditis, but like I said, check out this. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. I just can't be here all night. I got to get back to work with Specker. So please check out speckerhealth.com. This is my business, 100% self funded by your boy. And these live streams are all sponsored by Specker, aka me. So I'm gonna take another. Hey, you can check me out on Rumble at Amir Zen Official. It's the same on the gram as it is on Rumble. So if you can give me a follow there, the goal is 1 million followers on Rumble by 2025. Let's fucking go. I am doing this later night stream right now, just testing things. And I'm trying to see what the best time to really stream is. I'm not sure yet. Is it earlier in the day? I've heard of these early mornings, late at night. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's get back to LaFonza Butler. And thanks for your questions, y'all. Appreciate it. So this will show you why Gavin Newsom picked her. Butler began her career as a union organizer for nurses in Baltimore and Milwaukee, janitors in Philadelphia, and hospital workers in New Haven, Kentucky. Now, as I'm reading this, just think about it, right? When they're picking you, they are thinking about political points. So they're like, all right, oh man, union organizer for nurses and janitors and hospital workers. Oh, that's so virtuous. Like, check, check, check. In 2009, she moved to California. Again, she's not from California. She moved there and didn't even live there in this time. Like I said, her address was not in California, I guess last week. In 2009, she moved to California, where she organized in-home caregivers and nurses and served as president of SEIU, which was the Service Employees International Union. United Long-Term Care Workers, SEIU Local 215. I guess that's the name of the union. Butler was elected president of the California SEU State Council in 2013. She undertook efforts to boost California's minimum wage and raise income tax. Yeah, so if you she undertook efforts to boost California's minimum wage, economically literate, and raise income taxes on the wealthiest of Californians. Raising taxes on people is just evil, man. You should just be focused on lowering taxes. But communists don't do the whole lower taxes thing. Communists are about controlling your life as much as possible. Or sorry, Democrats. As president of SEIU Local 215, Butler endorsed Hillary Clinton in the 2016 Democratic presidential primary. Butler was one of California's electors who voted for Clinton in the 2016 election. Check, 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 political points. Check, 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 right? In 2018, California Governor Jerry Brown appointed Butler to a 12-year term as a regent of the University of California. And like I said, I was in the UC system, and these regents have a shitload of power on what happens with the UC system. She resigned from her role as regent in 2021. Butler is the director of Vision to Learn, a nonprofit founded by Austin Butner that provides reading glasses to children in underserved communities. Check, 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 check. So, this is the funny thing is that, and I think this is, it's not real. People who are in politics know how to get resume boosters. You see all this resume boosters. And this is how you get appointed to these positions. You get the resume boosters. I mean, look, if you watch any of these political shows, a lot of these political shows like House of Cards, uh, it's pretty realistic. Unfortunately, it's pretty realistic. Like they're actually sitting there in a room looking at, a handful of people, and there are these, okay, they did this, 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 and this. Okay, this will look good on this, and then they're like, all right, pick this person. So if you're in the chat right now, say what's up. Ask a question. Let me know how you're doing. Is everybody doing good tonight? It is pretty late. It's a little past midnight, and I am going to continue until. Oh man, like I said, I still got work, so I'm probably gonna pull another night where I am working all throughout the night, because now that I'm live streaming, as well as my work with Specker and my health and fitness and family, it's getting there are not enough hours in the day, so your support is very greatly appreciated during this era of my life, and always. Support is always great. So Butler joined SCRB Strategies, a California-based political consulting firm, as a partner in 2018. At SCRB, she played a central role in Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential campaign. Check, check. It's just unfortunate because it's like, you couldn't find somebody who was actually Californian. Maybe it just shows that, what I was saying at the beginning of the stream, politics is slim pickings. There are not that many people in politics, and it's very easy to get to top places in politics fairly quickly if you know what you're doing. I mean, shit, I was in my early 20s, and the gains that I made in politics were incredible for the short amount of time that I was there. She was no, and why? It's like you learn the game and you play the game, and if you play the game, you get to where you want to go faster than if you're fighting against the game. So uh, in politics, it's something that I learned as well in politics, because I could have been, say, a third party, libertarian party or some bullshit, and a party that doesn't win, and really been just going against the grain. But I chose the Republican Party to do my activism in, because I understood that if I'm playing to win, then you have to pick one of the two parties. And picking a third party is just not, it's not realistic. I mean, if you're playing to win, purely playing to win, then you have to play in the two-party system, unfortunately, today. Is that a good or bad thing? Like I always say, there are places that have way more than two dominant parties, and it's not like their governments are any better than the United States. So, like I was saying earlier, there is a specific flaw in centralized systems, and government is one of the biggest centralized systems that's ever existed in humanity. All right. So she was known as a political ally of Harris's since the latter's first run for California Attorney General in 2010, when she helped Harris negotiate a shared SEIU endorsement in the race. When she helped Harris negotiate a shared SEI. So that's political talk for you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Butler also advised, and look, they're scratching her back. They're scratching her back back real. You know what I mean. So Butler also advised Uber in its dealings with organized labor while at SCRB. Butler left SCRB in 2020 to join Airbnb as director of public policy and campaigns in North America. Um, just checking the chats. All right. In 2021, Butler was named the third president of Emily's List. She was the first Black woman and first mother to lead the organization. Check, 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 check. All right. Look at this. They already have an entire section about the U.S. Senator appointment. On October 1st, 2023, remember it's the 4th of October, 2023 right now when I'm filming this. Well, it just went to the 4th. It was just the 3rd 21 minutes ago. So a couple days ago. On October 1st, 2023, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, chose Butler to fill the U.S. Senate seat left vacant by the death of Dianne Feinstein, thus fulfilling his pledge to appoint a Black woman to the office. Butler was selected despite not being a resident of California, and she moved to Maryland in 2021. Let me read that again. Butler was selected despite not being a resident of California, as she moved to Maryland in 2021. So she lived in California for what? A little over a decade or about a decade? The United States Constitution only requires that a senators be inhabitants of the state that they represent. Newsom's office said that Butler would re-register to vote in California before taking office as a senator. Upon taking office on October 3rd. Oh, that just happened today. Oh, okay. Uh, Butler became the first open LGBT member of the U.S. Senate from California and the first Black lesbian to serve in the Senate. Check, 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 check. You know, if we lived in a merit-based system, I, her career would have been the important part, right? Not her the things that you're born with that you don't choose. That's we got to do something about that, America. The future can't be like that. You can't have special benefits because you were born a certain way. I mean, what? I mean, like a born like yeah. Yeah, I've just seen it grow so much. When I was in college, I started seeing this grow more and more. Affirmative action was in full force when I was in college. I graduated UCLA in 2010. And back then, the conversation was just not as popular, I guess. But I remember I got in a lot of trouble in some classes for bringing this up about how, it's like, dude, they picked you because of these check marks, and they don't have to do with your merit. And like we're reading here, and it's like, yo, this chick did a lot of legit work, like put in a lot of hours of hard work into the political apparatus, and but what it shows is that if you put her up against all the candidates and the merit of all the candidates, would she have been the best choice? But that doesn't matter to these people and their mindset, which is, I'm just like, man, it's just unfortunate, Because I feel like growing up, we spent all these years talking about not looking at people for the color of their skin and their religion, but and just like look at people as people and Americans as Americans, and we really saw that transition over the last few decades. If you've been in America for the last few decades, I remember what the general conversation was, say in the 90s and early 2000s, compared to the last 10 or 15 years, about, yeah, 15 years or so, where this has got, oh, you mean, yeah, when Obama became president. Uh, you know, I, I heard somebody say to me recently that Trump was very divisive and Obama was not. And it's just so funny that I thought so differently. Like, you're gonna say, I would say Obama is one of the most divisive presidents we've had in American history. And look how split America is. That was a lot of that happened during the Obama regime. Mr. Drone King himself, who's still, you know, in power right now, it seems, in his third term. If you know anything about that. Anyway, all right. You chat. It is getting late. Yeah, so I just wanted to read about LaFonza Butler, California's new senator. And if you're a Californian and you're wondering why shit is fucked up in California, are you in politics? Do you work in politics? Are you in party politics? Do you go to your local city council meetings? Do you know this? The answer, I know what the answer is. It's no for most people. And then most people just expect things just, magically get better. And that's just not how things go. So, all right. We have been here for a little over an hour right now. And you know what? We're going to be finishing with some talk about, I was going to read this study about myocarditis, but since I went off a little too, whoa, that is burned by a little burn over here. I'm just going to read, let me see. All right. Let me pull this up real quick. So I will probably read through it. Yeah, this will take me a few hours. This is yeah, each one of these studies is like an entire stream on its own. All right, so this study that I'm going to read is called The Effects of CBD, a non-intoxicating compound in cannabis, on the cardiovascular system. Is that the study? Wait a minute, this isn't the right freaking study. Hold on. There we go. I have read so many studies on CBD that it is hard for me to oh yeah, wait, no, the titles are just kind of similar. Wrong study. I have read thousands of scientific studies in my life, and if you want to read summaries of a few of those studies that I've read, or almost 100 of them at this point, you can check out speckerhealth.com, check out the Specker Library, where you can read about scientific studies on health, ingredients, and lifestyle. So far, written all by myself. And I go and I read these studies, and then I summarize them for you. And then you can go and read all about it yourself. And then when you read all about it yourself, you can go reclaim your health and become the master of your own life. All right. So this study here, let me just pull this shit up real quick in the background for y'all, so you could just read along with me. And do this real quick. All right, there we go. Bang. All right, we're gonna share screen real quick and get this study going. It seems like there are more people on earlier on streams. So I'll probably do an earlier stream on Thursday. No streams tomorrow. Got too much work, but I will be back on Thursday. I am trying to stream about 3 or 4 times a week now. Like I said, is very difficult in between my work, but we're gonna make it happen because we're streaming to 1 million, and we need to get a lot of this information out to the world that was otherwise for many years censored every time I would try to share it. So let's pull this up real quick. So this study is called, and this is on PubMed too, so you can go read this study yourself, which I would just recommend you actually do. But you can also watch this video and read this study along with me. It's called Cannabidiol, which is CBD. CBD attenuates cardiac dysfunction, oxidative stress, fibrosis, inflammatory and cell death, signaling pathways in diabetic cardiomyopathy. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's see. Screen sharing. Boom. All right, we're pulling it up. Boom. See it? There you go. It's right there. Now let's get to reading, and I'll explain this as we are going through and reading it as well. So this is the abstract of the study, and the reason that I'm reading this one, because this has to do with cardiac dysfunction as well, and myocarditis is one type of heart inflammation, and we will read about that in here. So, the objective of this study, in this study, we have investigated the effects of CBD on myocardial dysfunction, inflammation, oxidative and nitrosative stress, cell death, and interrelated signaling pathways using a mouse model of type 1 diabetic cardiomyopathy and primary human cardiomyocytes exposed to high glucose. If I'm ever reading this and you're wondering what any of this stuff means, just leave a comment and ask. Or you could just research it yourself, which I would recommend, or you could just ask. All right, let's continue on. So, CBD is the most abundant non psychoactive constituent of cannabis sativa, and it exerts anti inflammatory effects in various disease models and alleviates pain and spasticity associated with multiple sclerosis in humans. The methods are the left ventricular functions. Yeah, so the left ventricular function was measured by pressure volume system. Oxidative stress, cell death, and fibrosis markers were evaluated by molecular biology and biochemical techniques, electron spin resonance, spectroscopy, and flow cytometry. um, the reason I write these scientific study summaries on Specker Health is because, as you see, there are just so many big ass words that you have to really understand, biology and physiology and all these different, chemistry to really, even if you're really good at it, a lot of these words, you're just like, oh, I haven't heard of this one word. I've heard of the, so you're constantly searching like, oh, what does this mean, what does that, so that's why I write these summaries, because I will go in there and translate it to normal speak for you. How I always just think about when I wasn't good at science back when I was younger. Sciences used to be my worst subjects in school, and now it's the thing that I'm the best at in life. I'm really good at science, and I taught myself a lot of this science. So it's very interesting how this all works out, right? When in school, I just couldn't grasp it at all. When I decided to go teach it myself, now I can read and understand almost every single word in these studies that I'm reading, which is pretty cool. And you can do that too. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm reading these. That's why we're reading them together so that you can become the master of your own health and your own life. So this is pretty cool. The results. Diabetic cardiomyopathy was characterized by declined diastolic and systolic myocardial performance associated with increased oxidative and nitrosative stress. Um, NFKB and MAPK activation, enhanced expression of adhesion molecules, TNF alpha, which is tumor necrosis factor alpha. You see, I know none of these things. Markers of fibrosis, TGF beta. I'm not enhanced cell death. Whoa, cool. Just reading the capsase 37 and diminished AKT phosphorylation. Remarkably, CBD attenuated myocardial dysfunction, cardiac fibrosis, oxidative and nitrosative stress, inflammation, cell death, and interrelated signaling pathways. Furthermore, CBD also attenuated the high glucose induced increased reactive oxygen species generation, NFKB activation, and cell death in primary human cardiomyocytes. Pretty cool, huh? So, you know, the let me see. So it's talking about here myocardial dysfunction, and that means that there is going to be some kind of issue relating to the muscular tissue of the heart. Let me pull this up. All right, so the conclusions collectively, these results, coupled with the excellent safety and tolerability profile of CBD in humans, strongly suggest that it may have great therapeutic potential in the treatment of diabetic complications and perhaps other cardiovascular disorders by attenuating oxidative and nitrosative stress, inflammation, cell death, and fibrosis. All right, y'all. This is the abstract of the study. And if you're wondering what fibrosis is, it's just thickening of the tissue. Uh, so like scarred, you know. So let's check the chat here. Let's see. Let's see. All right, cool. All right, so as you can see here, we got this whole study that we are going to go through. Look at that. We're just gonna go through these pictures real quick, and then we're gonna. All right, next stream, it's these two studies. We're reading through all of it because the pictures on this study are really awesome as well. Let me find them here for y'all. Because if you saw the stream yesterday, I showed you these pictures of the experimentally induced autoimmune myocarditis and then the CBD on top of that and what that did. So this is the control group, diabetes. So this is with diabetes now. Control just CBD, diabetes, boom, diabetes with CBD. Look at that shit, guys. Look at this. Look at that. It's like you're telling me. Hold on, make this smaller so you can see it. Telling me that. Look at that. Control, CBD, and then look at look at this. Diabetes, that looks pretty bad, right? And then diabetes plus CBD starts looking more like just the CBD, right? Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. You're looking at this with your own eyes, y'all. So this is the cool thing about reading scientific research yourself instead of getting your knowledge from shorts on TikTok and Instagram or whatever, which I highly do not recommend you do because you're never gonna get in-depth outlooks on things like you do here and get deep explanations because when you really read these things, you can truly verify if something is leaning true or leaning false. Look at this. You see this yourself. CBD, diabetes, boom. And I know a lot of people who use CBD with their diabetes. There's a very good research with CBD and diabetes. Here's some more. Many people have told me over the years. I mean, it helps with so many things that makes you diabetic. Insulin resistance, carbohydrate intolerance. I mean, this study is literally talking about glucose as well. So look at that. This is CBD mitigates apoptosis in the diabetic myocardium. It's pretty fucking cool, huh? Look at this. Look at this, y'all. I mean, a lot of these things just leaves me speechless because show me something else that's a natural single compound that can do this. It's epic. So we're gonna go through. Let me see if there's there are no more pictures here. We're gonna go through this whole study and the other study that was about CBD and experimentally induced myocarditis on the next stream. So if you are here watching to the end, thank you so much for getting here. I am going to be streaming earlier in the day moving forward. These late night streams, that was hard. It is almost 1 in the morning right now here. And yeah, I'm tired and I am not going to go to sleep. I am getting back to work on Specker. So if you can do your boy a favor and check out speckerhealth.com, that would be greatly appreciated. Every purchase you make, everything you do to support us helps continue the dream to make the world a happier and healthier place. Let me move this right here. There we go, right there. So yeah, like I was saying, we were streaming tonight on multiple different platforms. This is the most I've ever streamed at once, 6 different platforms. And that was wild. That's tell y'all that is hard to direct and produce as well. As you saw in this stream, I had to stop a handful of times to just get things fixed. There's so many different streams, and trying to get things right on stream is not the easiest thing in the world. So I'm glad I have experience doing this. Yeah. All right. All right. There we go. So to finish off, my name is Amir Zen. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to do everything in your power every single day to be as happy and healthy as possible because life gets tough and you should strive to find balance as much as possible. And when you strive to be as happy as hell and when you strive to be as happy and healthy as possible, then you will find balance in this yin and yang world. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. I love you. All right. Now I can get this 2-pit back in. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you soon.